Back again with another episode of
La Pasión.
I'm here with my good old friend,
Yeah.
Archie.
What's happening?
Introduce yourself.
What's your podcast called? Does it have a name?
It doesn't have a name yet.
The podcast.
The podcast.
With
so
Chris.
no. Yeah, with Chris.
The podcast.
I think I'll call
La
it
Pasión.
What does that mean? Like
the
passing.
Passion.
the passion.
Passion.
I like that though.
I like
La
it.
Pasión.
Exactly.
It's got a ring to it.
It's got a little je ne sais quoi. What can I say? But yeah.
Yeah, I'm Archie. What do you like? You know what's so crazy? I'm not used to introducing myself. It's so funny.
Because they know who you are.
Nah, whoa, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. But nah, like it's so funny. Like I'm not used to talking about myself to this degree. But my name's Archie. I am a good friend of Chris, an all-round, relaxed, I guess somewhat stoic individual. I also am the host of Challenge Player One, the show for lovers of games and more. And yeah, and I'm also a music lover amongst other things. Anime, gaming, all of that good stuff, pop culture. And yeah, that's who I am.
Okay, so let's talk about something that you love, music.
Yeah.
So let me start off with the fact that, you know, you and I think we have very similar music tastes.
Yeah.
I like a lot of R&Bs with like deep bass, as well as I'm a big lover of saxophones and violins. Put a little violin, that thong song. Yeah. Let's not get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So music, I find, is a very sort of personal thing for me. I know when people usually talk about music, they're talking about the top 10 trends, etc., etc. I'm not really big into like keeping up with the top 10 trends or like, you know, what's happening in terms of drama or music beefs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But as someone who is closer to music than myself in terms of that way, what would you say is like the most interesting things happening right now? And it could be as varied as possible. It could be someone low key is producing a new album, or like there's a collaboration that you never thought would happen.
That's a good question. I think a couple. So the first thing that springs to mind is the UK R&B scene. I think the way in which, so like I'll provide some context. Like the UK R&B scene, I think has been quite. It's been a difficult environment to survive in, but also succeed in a sense of like, for a long time you had like a few, like, so you had people like Shola Ama back in the day, Jamelia back in the day, and then obviously throughout the 2010 period you had Angel back in the, like around that time, but you would find that like really blowing up in the UK R&B space was quite difficult unless you went to the States. So
Yeah.
people like not Georgia Smith, I lied, LMA went to the States.
yeah.
She ended up doing very well. But that always seemed to be like the route that you would go to if you want to do well, right? Even from an acting perspective as well. Actors in the UK, like they would go to the US because obviously there's more opportunities. The network and the circuits around there are a lot more efficient and better than the UK.
Let me jump in
course.
because as a casual listener, I never really noticed the fact that there isn't really a UK R&B scene that's thriving, even though we have like a really strong drill scene, garage, even like house, EDM. There's a lot of like people who have like strong communities within it. You see it in all types of festivals and stuff like that. But whenever you think of R&B, it's coming from over the seas. It's not internally. So like now you mentioning that the fact that LMA had to sort of like go through the States route instead of like the UK.
Yeah, so like how for example, how she came up was, you know, she was doing covers online, much like a lot of aspiring artists do.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the bigger, like DJ Mustard saw her cover and said, cool, like, you're sick, I want to fly you out, I want us to work together. And then obviously the rest is history. But I think where we're at now, you know, obviously you got people like Georgia Smith doing well. Naturally, she's been around for like over 10 years. Well, around 10 years now. But also like artists like, you know, you got people like Manelia, you got Bella, you got Sasha Keeble, you got K1, you got Elmine, you got Kane, you've got Jazz Karis, you've got I'm even trying to think off the top of my head who else. Like there's so many artists now that you can pull from. Even Salt, even though they're more on the gospel, alternative, like R&B soul kind of like music, but there's a thriving pot of R&B artists here in the UK that Sam Henshaw, that you can pull from.
And they don't get the sort of deserved push that you feel like to big up the scene, or would you say like it's
also, yeah, like I think so. I also got to add Shea Universe in there as well. Okay. But I think the problem is always about the infrastructure, right? So the infrastructure in terms of how the UK operates, like, so for example, Shea Universe had a good conversation with Ace, who's a DJ and radio presenter, and she was saying how like a lot of darker skinned R&B acts don't get the market push that they deserve because obviously they're darker skinned and we know how colorism works in the industry, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Having said that, we can't obviously like deny that like our R&B is at its best place now more than ever in terms of the UK space.
Yeah.
Because obviously now we have a lot more access to things and obviously it's thriving in different ways. Like a lot more US artists like Leon Thomas and Destin Conrad are coming here and being like, yo, I want to collab with so many UK artists. So there is that melting pot that's kind of happening and going on. But I'd say that's like the one bit of like, that's the one piece of news I think that's like, that I can say that's obviously standing out and saying, oh, like in terms of bringing you into how I'm seeing music and what's going on. I'm like, oh yeah, like that's actually doing well. That's what's going on right now.
I do like hearing about that because like as a casual listener, you only get what is sort of like in your immediate vicinity, whether it'll be at work and they play like a certain playlist or like at a club or at a function, they're still going through the same sort of like popular sort of things. And all of it is just basically US centric, right? Unless you're in a specific sort of like culture that is diverse. For example, like if you go to, let's say, Latin American sort of like party, you're not going to hear that many US tracks, but you also hear like basically all of the Bachata, all of the Bad Bunnies and all of that sort of like mix. So I just think like when it comes to like our own sort of like structures that we have, so the club scene, let's say gaming events, even like in video games as well, like the songs that they pick, I feel like we can do like a better push to sort of like promote different artists within there. It doesn't have to be necessarily UK, but I'm just saying like that used to be an avenue. For example, when I used to game a lot back in the day, FIFA, all of that, you'd have like all of the background
the indie tracks. Or the indie artists and stuff. It was a good, like people don't realize how FIFA was such an amazing source to discover music. And I think it still is to a degree. But to your point about obviously DJs and venues and clubs being an avenue to discover new music, I think that obviously boils down to I'm trying to find the less technical word to say this, but like how, actually, I'll just say it. It boils down to the social zeitgeist, right? So it always lands on how we behave currently in club culture. So now it's if we look at how club culture is now, it's very much stand in the corner, be mysterious or a farming type of guy if you're a guy. Obviously, girls are trying to enjoy and do what they're trying to do and turn up. But with club culture, you got the whole table scene, paying for a table. You got the whole people not being willing to dance, hyper surveillance in this country, and
everyone has their phones out.
Everyone's got their phones out. Not just in this country, but in the world, like hyper surveillance. Not even by government. Before hyper surveillance was like a government thing. Now hyper surveillance is a social thing. and it's like
advertisements.
yeah,
as well.
like everyone's recording, everyone's singing, so it's like nobody feels comfortable to dance or be free or to do their thing because they're scared someone's going to record them and post it on social media.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying? Like chat clip that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I think what happens now is that happens. And in order to get people to kind of remove yourself from that, you have to be in a position where, as a DJ, you're playing the biggest and best stuff, but mixing in a very unique and very skilled way as well, right? And so that doesn't allow for you to play any new music, or it doesn't allow for DJs to say, "Oh, I got this new artist I want to really tap into. I want to push for the people. It fits the theme. It's a vibe, but." Because of how we take in content and we take in music and just how life has been algorithmically like structured for us, we don't feel comfort in trying or listening to new things as much.
Quite honestly, yeah. So me and another one of my friends, Billy, who happens to be here, we went to an event called, I think it was Sexy Nerds.
Oh,
yeah.
Never heard of that one. Oh,
yeah.
Sexy Nerds.
Yeah, so we were expecting like, because the way they advertised it was like, sort of like back-to-back, sort of like anime bangers mixed in with like normal tracks.
That's crazy. You should have shouted at me, blood. Oh, when was this?
I think I probably did shout.
Nah, you didn't shout at me, bro. I want to know if an event called Sexy Nerds. What's going on, bro?
Yeah. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did.
Maybe you didn't shout at me, bro. I would have pulled up. I would have pulled up.
My bad.
No, go on. No, I'm fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. I mean, dead ass serious. But yeah, go on.
Nah. Next time I'll go to something like that, I won't withhold the invite.
Thank you.
Okay?
I appreciate you, bro.
Nah, but like, yeah. So when we were at the event, it was like, tailored towards, anime nerds, anyone who has like any of those sort of like...
Yeah, they're playing the openers and that.
Exactly. So I was expecting openers into like, those types of mixes, etc., etc. And I'm not saying it's a bad event. I'm just saying the one in particular, I was kind of like disappointed with how safe they played it in terms of like, it was just mostly like, normal Now's How music. Yeah. But it wasn't like that sort of creative. Have you ever seen like a DJ battle where they have like their different mixes and tracks and they're trying to surprise the crowd with the different transitions that they could do?
Yeah.
So I was half expecting that. I wasn't expecting it to that same level of like someone who's creating it. But at least to hear like some of the niche songs that you don't hear, like to hear the Yu Yu Hakusho opening, childhood.
Could have mixed it with some 80s funk or some...
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying still.
And those music sort of like openers and stuff like that, they're very transferable. Like if you look at the actual BPMs and stuff like that behind the scenes, you can definitely mix it with something. Yeah. And it will sound very nice. 100%. Like on YouTube, I'm not sure if you scroll through, but like you have different sort of varied anime mashups. Those are the bee's knees.
Yeah.
So I was expecting something like that where it's just like a bunch of anime mashups. And I'm not saying bad event or anything like that. But I'm just saying personally, I would want people to be a little bit more bold, especially like when you have a specific event created for a specific type of people, right?
Yeah, of course.
Why are we withholding the anime openings? Why are we withholding like...
Yeah, be brave.
Be
brave.
And I feel like that is like something that is a stopgap to also when it comes to like promoting new artists. Because what I found as well is, I'm sure you've spoken to like a lot of DJs behind the scenes. Most of the stuff on the playlist that they'll play for event and stuff like that will not be in their regular rotation.
Right.
They will show you all of these hidden gems and they'll be like, yeah.
Facts.
This is my personal mix.
Facts.
For example, these are all of the vinyls that I listen to.
Facts.
And then you can find like some people who like only play like, let's say, Drake, the Kendricks, all of that. They listen to like old school 50s Cuban music. And then they have like a whole catalog of that. Why don't you just like splashing that in there, putting that little personality?
Because people don't want to hear that though. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's unfortunate.
And I think we live in a time where it's not about again, I can't tell you what club life was like pre, 20, pre 2013, 2014. I couldn't because I wasn't old enough. So, I went outside for that. But what I will say is like, there isn't that ability for DJs now to. The real DJs will take a risk regardless. If it bangs, it bangs. If it doesn't bang, it's whatever. You did that thing anyway. But for the most part, for the majority of DJs, they're gonna play what's safe and what's gonna get the audience moving, and they're gonna do what needs to be done, get their paycheck, then just go about their day. And I think that's reflective also in the gaming industry, which we'll get to much later in the conversation. But it's like playing it safe now is just what guarantees you get the bread and you go about your day and you do what you need to do. Do you get what I'm saying? As opposed to saying, you know what? If, for example, I DJ for fun. Like, I don't do it as a career. I don't chase to be like, yo, book me, whatever. That. I'm just doing it because I enjoy doing it. I love making mistakes. I love fucking up. I love like trying to.
When it's just raw and real.
When it's raw and real, when it's that hobby, and I'm blessed in the sense I have facilities to do that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know if I'm opening as a DJ, I'm going buck wild with it, bro. I'll play like I know as an opening DJ, I know what type of songs I'm gonna play. I'm not obviously gonna interfere with what other DJs are gonna play throughout the night. Because one thing, as someone whose nickname is Fox, like people just brand me as a Fox because I'm always outside. But like, it's one of them ones where one thing I've noticed is obviously a lot of the time certain DJs on a set, you might find that closer towards the end of the night, those bulk of DJs might play the same music. So you might hear the same song
3 times.
Right.
Oh my God.
Do you get what I'm saying? And so for me as an opener, if I was to open up as a DJ, I know exactly what route I'm going down. Do you get what I'm saying? One event that I went to was Everyday People. Very, very cool event. Went to this, like, was it maybe 2 years ago or so with my boys. They had an event in Wembley. And Box Park, Wembley.
Okay.
And the DJs were playing shit I had never heard in a while. Like playing cuts of songs that I haven't heard in a minute.
Yeah.
And I think it was just so refreshing being in an environment where they can just play these songs and everyone's just open and having fun and enjoying. And it's like, no one's like, oh, they didn't play a Shake, whatever. Or they didn't play Gunna, we're getting fucked tonight. Or they didn't play this. They're playing like different kind of vibes, like K-Tronada. They're playing like all of these different type of vibes that I'm like, yes, take that risk. That's how it should be. We're here to enjoy, be free, and just have fun. So
I think like our modern day music industry has also given like a better avenue for producers and DJs to be their own without having to attach onto a name or a brand in general, right?
Do you think the industry's done that? The music industry's done that?
When I say industry, I just mean like, just in general, like you've got your DJ Khaled, you got your what's his name, DJ Mustard, and all of that, right? They'll have their specific sort of like created sort of mixed tracks, etc., etc. I like listening to them because I like the production. I like hearing all of the music, the instruments that they use, the different loops. I feel like as years gone by, like in terms of production quality, music tracks, instrumentals, backings, and all of that, they've evolved exponentially. Like I really do like the samples and how they sound. Like, I know people are like, oh, you need to listen to the old tracks, etc., etc. But some of the way they chop and screw the samples into something new.
Yeah.
Because I know remember like the hardcore hip hop days where people were like, you ain't into hip hop unless you listen to like those constant loops of like, it would be like the same sort of like 8 beats or whatever it's called, and that will loop the entire time and they'll be like, yeah, that's a fire beat. Nah, now you have like whole entire like engineering masterpieces if you're really listening for it. And I really like it because like I'm a person who likes to listen for the individual instruments as well. And now, before the instrumentals, were just like addition to, let's say, someone who was rapping over and stuff like that. Now they're their own thing, like an orchestra. Have you ever been to like a symphony or something like that?
Yeah.
And listened? Like just hearing like all of the instruments and
Come
the way
together.
people are playing,
The
and
arrangements.
the synchronization. It's a thing of beauty. And I feel like most of the tracks that we have now, chef's kiss.
That's interesting. Like, you're definitely not wrong in terms of, I think the avenue for production has been made easier for people to get into. So obviously back in, let's use, for example, let's go from like 1970 to about 1989, or maybe 85, just before hip hop started becoming a thing.
Yeah.
You had to know your way around instrumentation.
Yeah.
You had to know about arrangements. You had to know how to play an instrument. If you couldn't play an instrument, get the fuck out of here. Like, you don't belong in the studio, bro. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you needed at least like one instrument in your bag. Otherwise,
Or you just need to have a good understanding of arrangements, period. Or if you're an engineer, you need to understand, like you need to have a good understanding of what it's like to engineer arrangements, or, you know, be in an environment where multiple instruments are at play and how you bring them together to make them sound amazing, right? And then obviously from the birth of hip hop all the way to, like, let's say now, the barrier of entry has obviously become somewhat easier. Mind you, up until maybe like the early 2000s, you still need to have a good understanding of some key instruments, but a lot of it with the beat pads started coming about. You had like Jay Dillers coming in,
and
you
all
had
of
Kanye, so they were able to rip samples, and even Daft Punk, like they were able to rip samples in a way that you would think, how the hell do you listen to like 3 different songs and create this type of sample? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so now you have like, the barrier to entry is just completely like lowered. Like the walls are down where anybody can pick up a piece of software, whether that's like, even like early 2000s with Fruity Loops, like how early grime emerged through Fruity Loops. You know what I'm saying? Like, and people like Jay and me, like using primarily Fruity Loops to produce most of his tracks. It's like the barrier to entry has lowered, but there's still a technicality behind it. Yeah. And so now you find out people that just do the craziest shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like,
to a lot of creativity.
Yeah, and it births a lot of creativity. It births a lot of unique sounds as well. And I think what's beautiful about it is that it allows for, when you lower the barrier to entry, obviously you get a lot of shit. That's the first thing. We can't deny it. You get a lot of shit, but within that, you get a lot of unique stuff that you probably would have never heard before. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Like, respectfully, someone like Miles Davis is not going to create something Playboi Carti is going to make, and the opposite is the same. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. But because of the evolution of music and production and the barrier to entry, it allows for, you know, your Playboi Cartis to come about, or stuff like that. Or even people like, on my way here, I was listening to an artist called Sibo. He's a UK rap artist. And like, he does very much interesting like rap, but he also adds like themes of like politics and, you know, like cost of living crisis, and also like systemic effects of black people being in like lower income.
Like old school rap, where it used to be.
Yeah, but he does it in a very unique grime-esque, rap-esque, like new age production type of way. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, there's a few tracks from back in the day to where like, when I go back and like have like sort of a nostalgic moment where I'm going through the early 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, I'm like, man, I wish this was just like remastered slightly, so that it is timeless, you know? And that only really started coming around like, let's say the era of 2000s, to where like some things you can listen to them and then you can still discover like new instruments when you're listening closely with the proper listening devices, right? And like, I just, in my heart, it's not like I dislike the songs or anything like that, but it's just knowing
the old school songs.
Yeah, it's just knowing that you can't sort of like what they were working with is limited, and just seeing the potential of those songs and how much weight they carried, how much emotions they invoke with what they had at the time, right? You were still hearing like, you know, the cowbell. That used to be prevalent. If it was old school, you'll hear that little cowbell.
Yeah.
Used to annoy me because of how it sounded, but it became a strong part of my nostalgia. You don't hear that cowbell no more.
Yeah.
That shit's been removed. That shit's gone. But at the same time, it's like some of these old tracks, I would have loved to hear like some of the greats sort of rap and not even rap, sing, anything like that over some of these newer sort of well-produced beats. Like I feel like it would open up a new sort of realm of music.
What, Michael Jackson featuring Playboy Carti? Is that what you're asking?
Not a full feature, but like Michael Jackson on a Playboy Carti mat.
Yeah.
I mean, on track. Sorry. Have you seen these AI sort of like reproductions?
I hate that
I hate them because they feel very weird.
Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes I'd be like,
I can't deny it. Some of them are pretty good. And I'm just like, I hate that. I just hate that that's a thing. Like, I remember even like there was the whole story about, you know, an artist being like a top R&B, being on the R&B charts, and it's AI. That's so dark, bro. Yeah. There's like one R&B artist that like one person made an R&B artist, produced all this music through AI, done the vocals through AI, everything, and I think it reached the charts or something like that. And it's and you're just like, bro, like that's crazy. That's so fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like you've got people who are like putting their blood, sweat, and tears, struggling to find like all types of shit or like connections or make their way into the industry, whatever. And here comes a person who's just like, here's the prompt, runs the thing, adjusts whatever here and there, and then it charts. And it's just like, well, it's just fuck me and my hard work, innit? Because
and I think
the AI thing just came and done it. Just like that.
To add to your point, which makes the sort of whole thing sort of a little bit more contentious, is that in order for AI to work properly, you need a sample of things for it to like,
AI doesn't survive without us, bro.
Yeah. So you need the original sort of creators to come up with, okay, you want to do music in this type of way.
Yeah.
This is good, this is bad. Learn from all of these artists and make an algorithm that takes all of the best bits from it. And it's like,
Stark, man.
Is that transformative enough? Is that what we're doing whenever we learn sort of like going through music school, listening to different tracks? Is that like a shortened way, a computerized way of doing the same? Can you say it's transformative? There's a lot of debate when it comes to like AI and like just art in general.
Yeah.
So like when it comes to that, I tend to stay away from it because I don't know how to feel about it. Because like when you hear both sides of the arguments and stuff like that, well, AI, you have to do the programming. It's not just like they copy it. You have to make sure they copy the right things. And most of the shit, most of the stuff that they produce will be shit. It's just that they produce it at such a rapid pace to where like you can sort of like get to the way like it becomes transformative enough. So I was gonna see like what do you feel about that sort of idea of like the behind the scenes still uncomfortable?
Nah, man, I don't fuck with it. Like, here's the thing, right? I won't deny, like, AI can always have, AI has its use. I'm not gonna deny that there is an importance behind like AI and being able to use that, but when you're using AI in a way that replaces human creativity, that's the issue I have. So for example, instead of you, let's say for example, like we do this pod, yeah? Cool. Me and you on this pod, La Passion, yeah? Bro, imagine like I'm AI. You're not even talking, like imagine you're not even talking to any humans when you're making this pod, bro. You're just talking to AI. And you program AI to say, I want to speak to this person who's interested in this type of thing. Talk to me in a 2-hour conversation with these particular topics I'm talking about and be able, like, do you get what I'm saying? That's crazy. I think when AI replaces human creativity and connection, that's where I say let's stop right there.
Let me also give you some dark thoughts as well.
Jump in, bro.
Let me jump in.
Go to.
Because there's another sort of contentious part that we haven't spoke about, which is the sort of idol sort of community, the K-pops and stuff like that. Because you have like virtual sort of actors, singers, idols now that obviously, if you own the IP, you own it's no longer owning the artist. You have this artist for a timeless amount of time because they're AI. And now you're having like AI sort of like megastar superstars that are just literally the machine, the thing that everyone sort of like fights against, the thing that sort of stifles creativity. This is just mass produced.
Yeah, it's
sort
dark.
of like this is what
It's dark.
people will like.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about like sort of virtual actors, virtual
Bun it all, bun it all, bun it,
You know
bun
what?
it, bun it all,
Burn
burn
it
it
all.
down, bro.
destroy
Like,
the servers?
here's the thing, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at AI if you want to use it to clean up a paragraph or an essay or whatever. I'm not mad at you using AI if you want to, gain a bit more information about a particular thing, or you're writing out a particular script and you just want AI to just help you review it or to refine it in a particular way. I'm not mad at that. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's calm.
Yeah, that sounds.
But if you're going to tell me that you're using AI, like obviously uni students now are using AI to write their whole essays, bro. That's not good. Bro, like people are using AI to like, again, make art, make music. Nah, people are using AI to like, I'm for AI if, for example, in a gaming sense, you make the AI a lot more smarter. In like, if you're playing a fighting game, you make it, have more like habits to like a competitive fighting, whatever. But that's what the harder difficulties are for. Or if you're playing a open world game, the NPCs, you use AI to make them a bit more efficient so that they're more. It feels more lived in as opposed to they're just NPCs walking about. I'm fine with that.
Man, they have a personal.
If you're using it to like replace like art that people have drawn, or music that people have made, or actors that people have, put time and effort to create, bun it all, bro.
Okay, what about if it's for like remembrance sake? For example, Tupac hologram.
Nah, let me.
You don't want it.
I had an issue with that hologram thing from why they like. I'm very much like I'm like, bro. You might find me in a bunker with tuna cans and spam, bro. At some point, like
the Matrix,
bro. Like I'm not. For me, it's too dystopian, bro. It's too Blade Runner, Cyberpunk-esque. Like I'm not there for that. Like I think it's one of them ones where these things will literally take you out of reality, bro.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, look, if you want to experience a hologram of Tupac and whatever, fine, do that. But don't be using AI to start getting man to say stuff that you ain't never heard man say before.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
There's a story that I heard outside of like music and stuff like that, where I think someone used AI to generate an apology, or like not apology, sorry, a forgiveness for their son's killer.
Dead.
To the killer.
Nah.
And then it was like,
if Ghost
with the voice,
if Ghost
I know
could
my
talk,
son. Yeah.
If Ghost could talk. Like for me, brother, like that whole let the dead rest, bro. Let them die, bro. Unless they're dickheads, innit? Then, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I'm not going to go too far with it, but we've seen the Kirkification of AI, and I'm not going to lie, that's been funny as fuck.
That's what I'm saying. Like, for memes, it's been funny as hell.
Yeah, that's been
gonna...
funny. I'm not going to lie, like, I say it. That's funny as shit to me. So,
because like with AI, right, you're having to do double takes and seeing, wait, is that shit real?
Bruh.
Especially like when you see like people playing, knowable people in very compromising situations, right?
Brother.
Which is why there's like all of those new sort of like new legal ramifications and stuff like
100%.
that. And what people have been doing sort of like for explicit content as well.
Yeah, let's keep it a buck.
Yeah.
Them man are using it for real Nancy behavior, bro. And it's dark. It's dark. Get it gone.
Yeah.
Like, hell no. Like, again, sorry to cut you off, but like, if someone has passed and they were absolute terrible person, and you use AI, hey, fair game.
Fair game.
Fair game. If you're a shit person, you made it public that you're a shit person, and people use your face in AI, it's fair game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you gotta hold that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I'm not here for like
Yeah.
the noncification of AI. Cut that immediately. Like them man that are doing that, castrate them immediately. So I don't know how deep this pod can go in terms of language,
Nah,
innit?
it can go wherever you want.
Get them gone, bro. Like bun, like listen, Salem witch trial settings, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I agree. Like putting innocent people in compromising positions through AI, you need to get burnt at the stake, bro. Straight.
You just straight up stolen their identity and made something. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it's a violation of someone's rights. You put them in a situation that they
100%.
didn't want to be in without their consent, and then because it's like this new mode of like, sort of like media way of doing things, like it has a lot of great areas because it's not actually you doing it.
Yeah.
It's just an AI thing.
Also, people need to bear in mind that we live in an age where no one in the history of the world, or maybe two people on this planet, have read the terms and conditions. Unless you're a lawyer, like barely anyone has read the terms and conditions of anything that they've ever signed up to. And a lot of these terms and conditions for these AI platforms is if you post a picture,
It's fair game.
It's fair, right?
For
It's
the
fair
rest of
game.
not even the rest of your life, for the rest of Earth's existence.
Eternity, bro.
Until these servers die,
Eternity.
those pictures are mine.
It's not even until these servers die. It's until the company goes down, or until we go into liquidation and we cannot afford to do anything ever again. You can't use that shit, bro. Obviously,
in the
Sora
meantime-
AI is gone now, but like, if Disney was to say, "Yo, you know what? Run up that 1 billion. We'll give you a cheeky 1 billion for Sora." The game's done. The world will, like, it's crazy, bro. If I decide to put your face
Okay.
on ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, all them fucking platforms, bro, it's fair game. Them I can use your face and put it on a BBL babe if they wanted to, bro.
Quite honestly, yeah.
So yeah, man. Like in terms
Please
of
don't
AI
give
for
me ideas,
creativity,
people, but
get
we
it gone.
could. But yeah, let's get back to music and what we're talking about,
Yeah.
right? So I think music itself is a personal journey. I like a lot of music in my personal life for different various means, right? And I'd like to also understand how people personally sort of explore music within their own life.
Yeah.
Would you like me to start off with like some examples? Of
course, please, yeah.
So in my personal life, for example, working out, I have specific tracks that sort of like boost me, make me feel like I can do whatever I can. And I can push myself to limits that, you know, I haven't even created until this sort of session, right?
Of course.
And like, I feel like that sort of motivational impact that it can have just on the way you feel about yourself and the way you feel about what your limits are, it's such a powerful tool. And like, most people, they use it for, I don't think they realize like how much music sort of influences your mood, etc., etc. You see like people in affluent sort of environments, right, playing specific music, in order to help promote certain types of like growth, learning, promote certain types of behavior, etc., etc. You see in media, music all the time. When you're saying a scene, you have the right backing track. When you're trying to like portray this is gonna happen, you'll have those bridges, those sort of like build up sort of music sort of things to like sort of enhance the scene, etc., etc. And I think in our lives we also do that for ourselves in a personal extent, right? I've heard people have like many different varied playlists depending on sort of what they're about to do. So I was wondering like if that is something that you also have, and sort of like talk me through like some of your different playlists and how your personal journey with music has kind of gone as personal as you want it to be.
Of course. So it's a very good question. Like I have, like music's always been a part of my life. I'm very young, right? So my earliest memory was, can't remember how old I was, but I was living in my family home when I was living in Peckham in Southeast London. So this was obviously before the age of like 7 years old. But I remember like my parents playing a lot of reggae, playing a lot of like South African like music, and obviously music, South African and West African music.
Are you talking about more of the tribal sort of...
No, like, so there's an artist called Yvonne Shaka Shaka who's a South African artist, and she made a lot of like pretty much just like 80s music, but 80s Afro sounds music. So it had the elements of like obviously your Western 80s music, but in an Afro sound sense. And it was amazing. Like it's such a cool memory for me growing up, and obviously being in family cars and being out, going to hall parties and stuff like that. Like my taste in reggae and dancehall. Then when I started forming my own identity when I was growing up in school, obviously like when I was in primary school, it became a lot more of what you see on TV. So like your MTVs, your VHS, and obviously very much like US-centric music. It wasn't until I got to secondary school, and obviously like I had a Sony Ericsson around then and Bluetooth, you'd connect songs and stuff like that. That's where like my love for like UK rap and grime started coming through and cutting through. I was still very much a lover of like the US-centric stuff, but I really loved the obviously like UK rap and grime stuff when I was in like year 7 growing up. In between that time as well, so from when I was like maybe around year 5 up until now, I've always had a love for rock music as well. And how that happened was quite hilarious. So there was a girl in my class that I had a crush on. Her name was, and I remember she, like I had a crush on her. I was like, cool, I like this girl, whatever. And I was like, oh, like she obviously would listen to Paramore. She was a Fall Out Boy fan. During like IT class, where we would be in our computer rooms, like either playing Habbo Hotel or whatever, or she would be on like the forums, like the Fall Out Boy forums or the Paramore forums and stuff like that. So, or she'll tell me about them, and I'm like, oh, like this is sick. So, obviously, to get closer to her or to, you know, be a bit more friendly with her, as a kid I was like, oh, let me invest in these bands, like
let me take interest in her interests.
Exactly, as you naturally would do if you like someone. And it got to a point where obviously she didn't like me back naturally, but the love that I had
Naturally is crazy.
not that naturally is crazy, isn't it? Damn, I need to love myself more, innit?
Man,
I need to love myself more, innit? You caught me on that one. You were like, raw, that's kind of dark, bro.
Naturally, she didn't like me back.
Yo, that's wild, isn't it?
Bro.
I need to check that though, isn't it?
Yeah, check that one. I didn't like it.
I need to love myself more. That's kind of nuts.
I didn't like it.
Bro, I appreciate you for catching that though. Unnaturally she didn't like me. Do you get what I'm saying? But like my love for rock music stayed.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a girl who was a year above me when I was in secondary school, and she would give me, I was in year 7, and she would give me CDs of the Paramore albums that she had. And like, it was so sick because obviously back then, our relationship with music back in the day was more like very more analog. So you would go there, you would burn a CD, you would like, you had iTunes, or if you're pirating music, you know, obviously do the album, or like other websites, allegedly, you would like change the album artwork or add all the little, so it was very much like a work of art. Like you felt like a scientist, or you felt like a builder, curating music.
Wait. Did you ever go on like Windows Media Player and see all of the and that like had those tingles in your brain?
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, so for me, like my friend, she would give me like these Paramore CDs. She gave me All We Know Is Knowing, which is their first album, and Riot, and I would take them home and I'll put it in my computer, put it through iTunes. It will save it on iTunes, and I'll put it on my phone or whatever. So I had that love for just curating and doing my thing. Then I ended up growing and liking more bands. And obviously you had the anime music videos when YouTube was coming out as well. So that informed more of my love for not only anime, but like rock music as well.
They were
So
playing bangers.
right, you see Goku fight like Margin Vegeta over like a Linkin Park track, or Naruto versus Sasuke over like a Sum 41 track. Do you get what I'm saying? So
how many times did we watch the Battle in the Valley of the End?
right.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So my music curation is always like I'm grateful that even though our generation is fucked like in so many different ways in terms of like how the system's fucked us, but one thing I'm grateful for is like our relationship with music, because it was very much seek and ye shall find type of setting, you know? So fast forward to present day, I have a playlist for everything. I've got a playlist for rock music. I've got a playlist for grime. I've got a playlist for Afro sounds, which is basically everything from Amapiano to Guam to Kizomba to Tarashia to like, you know, like all of that stuff to Afrofusion, whatever. And then I've got my dancehall, my Caribbean playlist, which has obviously your traditional dancehall, your reggae, your bouillon, your like all of that stuff.
You're just telling
Soca.
me your hips didn't start moving.
Say right, basically. And then I've got my R&B playlist, which I only listen like so. I have a thing where I only listen to R&B music after 9 p.m.
Okay, why?
So not only wait, hear me out. It's not only thing, but it's a similar thing as you're saying of like you're creating an experience for yourself when listening to music. And so
I fuck with that.
Right, okay. See, you just gotta let me land the plane and we'll be safe, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? So my thing was like
put the candles, put some Drake.
Right. Or even like, maybe not that far, but unless I'm with my babes. But even then, do you get what I'm saying? But like, I think for me, it's more so like, for example, let's say like perfect example, us man all go out, go to somewhere, we're having a good time, we're lit, and then we just say, cool man, them has been a good night, I'm going home. It's late, it's whatever. I'm gonna calm down now. I'm not gonna listen to dancehall, rap music, whatever, around 2, 3 a.m. because it's too, like the mood that I'm in, I'm more chill, I'm more mellow. So I want to put on some R&B. So when the journey home now, I'm just calm, I'm reminiscent, I'm very much pensive, you know what I mean? Like, so for me, it's about obviously the mood that I'm curating. If I'm in a chill mood, I'll listen to R&B, I'll put something on, whatever, even if it's daytime. But for the most part, I'll only play, on average, if you listen to my listening music journey or my listening habits, I'll play R&B past a certain time, past 8, 9 p.m. when I'm on my journey home or I'm walking or I'm chilling.
I think that's exactly where I sort of wanted us to sort of touch on, like when it comes to like our personal journeys with music. Because I found like, as I've been sort of like doing my own personal growth and seeing like how different things affect me and stuff like that, I realized music had like a huge effect. For example, what you're saying when you only listen to music, like certain type of music after 9 p.m. because it carries a sort of mood and feeling that you'd want to sort of like carry on for the rest of the day. It primes your day, right?
Yeah.
I have the same for people, actually. I have specific songs that I associate with specific people.
Okay.
And that's how I'm able to remember certain memories and certain things when it comes to different songs. For example, if you saw my Spotify playlist last year, it's Burnt It Up.
Yeah, man.
The plays on Jackie Brown. Do you know why? Because
that Wasteland album was special, innit?
It was special. I don't know how else to say it other than like everything on that album was a banger.
It was.
You can listen to the whole album and be like, you know what? I might not even skip a damn thing. Let me listen to it one more time.
I wasn't fucking with that album at first, you know. It took me a while to grow into it.
Same.
And then when I grew into it, I was like, oh, I'm locked in. All the way in. This is me.
Before, I only had like, the only song that I sort of like actually liked with instantly, I mean, not like, I sort of messed with instantly on the Wasteland album was All Mine.
Yeah.
That was the only
and
song
Jackie Brown as well for me.
I didn't know about Jackie Brown until I heard it by accident.
Yeah.
It came up on Smart Shuffle, and I saw it was on the Wasteland album, and I heard it. And Jackie Brown has a real special place in my heart for it last year because it links to a period of time to where like things were moving so quick. Like, remember the conversations that we're having last year when it came to like progress and stuff like that. Long story short, like a lot of changes needed to be made, a lot of changes were made, and a lot of life was lived. And like, if you listen to the songs and those lyrics and just how much they encompass certain modes or like areas of your being at that specific moment, like I feel like that is such a powerful feeling. And like every time I listen to that song, I instantly put myself back into that sort of mode of like
that's the soundtrack of your life, bro.
Exactly.
That's the soundtrack of your life.
Same with like On This Side as well, like just the ending bit where it's like I don't know why I have, but it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like I feel like certain songs and certain places, people and stuff like that, I have specific associations for them. So every year I would have a new different favorite song. So it's been like, as I've sort of like tracked my sort of music journey, I can see like definitively of how I was feeling at that time, what I sort of connected to, whether it be the darker aspects, the lighter aspects. I was wondering if you had that some sort of like same sort of like realization or like sort of highlight within your head to where like you're like, this is actually deeper than what it seems. This is not just a favorite song. This is something.
Oh, this is like a moment in my life.
This is a point in my life.
Yeah.
Like your own sort of main character moment. To where like you put that on. Shut the world out and you go about your day and like it doesn't matter who else is like on the street with you. It's just you, that song, and you're back in that era.
That's a very good question. So Bryson Tiller's album Anniversary was an album that got me through like a moment where I was going through like a breakup in like my very first relationship. And I just remember putting that album on. And the intro to that album is just like a guy just talking about like, you're spending all of this time worrying about whether things are going to work or not. Before you know it, you spent 5 years worrying when you could have started something. That's the premise of what he's talking about. And it just goes in.
That's a powerful...
The first thing you hear, I'll play it to you after. And I was like, fuck. And then it goes into the track. And I love Bryson Tiller. Like, I remember my friend from college put me on him. She was like, have you heard this guy on SoundCloud? It's called Bryson Tiller. I was like, nah. That's when he had Trap Soul. And I listened to it and I was like, yo, this is around the time I was listening to like Party Next Door as well. So like, and that's when Party Next Door came, like his first project, Party Next Door came out. And I was just rinsing that. But Bryson Tiller Anniversary is the first one that came to mind. Helped me go through my breakup, helped me just like heal, just helped me just really just recontextualize myself. And then I would go and say Party Next Door's first project, because that was like around a period of time where like I was in college and obviously like I had crush on a girl and like you're just doing your thing and you're just like, yeah, I've got feelings for this babe and you got like it just informed that time where I was like courting someone that I liked or tried to get, you know, to know someone more that I liked and just trying to spend time with them. And like being in situations where maybe we'll stay in college a bit later and we'll leave together, or like I'm just trying
those sweet moments
where, do you get what I'm saying? And I'm just like, anytime I listen to that first project of Party Next Door, it takes me back to that. And Bryson Tiller as well, to be fair.
Same with like me and Soulja Boy and Kiss Me Through the Phone.
Right.
Yeah. Right. The first time you're up on the phone to a girl and you're talking like up until the AM.
Yeah.
And then you just listen to that song. La la
Yeah,
la
yeah,
la
yeah.
la
Six,
la la
seven,
la.
8, 9, 8, 2, 1, 2. Yeah.
And then you're just like taken back to those moments where you're like, man, I really did like her. Or man, I really did enjoy this moment. And I think that is the perfect thing about music.
Yeah.
You can have a whole moment encompassed by a record or a track.
Yeah.
And it stay there and it be timeless for you.
Facts.
For example, Dancing in the Moonlight is also another
Oh,
track
yeah.
that was Christmas. That used to ring off when I was 10 years old, all day,
Yeah.
every day on every single advert.
Yeah, that
I
takes
used
me
to
back
love-
to like CITV days and like Saturday mornings
You know
and
what I
just
mean?
yeah. That takes me back as well. My
Because-
parents are aliens type of shows and that. Yeah.
Because this is exactly the conversation I would like to have when it comes to music. Because like people don't sort of like realize how strong the associations
Yeah.
are when it comes to memory and music.
Facts.
Like you will always remember the first song that you took a girl dancing
Right.
with, or like the first sort of song that you had for your heartbreak, or the first song that really touched you or made you cry, or just what was playing on your playlist
Yeah.
at that time
Yeah.
when you were going through things with XYZ
Yeah.
or by yourself,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't always have to be linked to a person.
Yeah.
It could just be an era of time.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that conversation is just such a lovely conversation to have with someone.
Yeah.
Because you get to see how people are manipulating music in different ways, and not just as an artist producing it, as a listener consuming it.
Yeah.
You're not just listening to the music to psych yourself up for, job, whatnot, etc., etc. You're immortalizing moments in that song.
Well put. Like another example is Young Thugs with that. And that was around the time where like house parties were a thing. You had more clubs back in the day. So you had your birthdays, your visions, there's a spot called Your Mum's House. They're all on the same strip in Dalston Junction. And like with that, Young Thug was like playing in every single motive, every single rave. Like I can like think of 4 or 5 different moments in like 2014, 2015, 2016. No, 2015. I lied, sorry. 2014, 2015, where that song was just playing in every motive that I was at. And like, as you said, it's those moments where you listen to those songs and it just teleports you back. Or even to add to what you're saying, like, there's songs that I listen to that, for example, Mary J. Blige, Everything. Such a beautiful song. I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, I immediately thought about my girlfriend. And I was like, it's crazy how you can hear a song and it just reminds you of someone, or it makes you feel for someone, as opposed to obviously like it being the soundtrack of your life and like remembering things. It can also like bring up something about someone, whether good or bad, but in this instance, good. But yeah, like I agree. Like it's crazy how important music can be in our lives, but it also shows how much we bring meaning to certain moments as well for ourselves. Like we yearn to have something to attach meaning to things, and also like finding ways to have that, to build that importance of it. And like when you have that song, or you have that, the two marry. Like the moment that you have in your life and the song that is playing, or the music you're consuming around that time, it's crazy. Like as we're talking, I remember in secondary school, so like me and Nathan, like one of our friends, I'll never forget, we came back from like a rugby game, and I'll never forget this. He was playing Freeze by T-Pain featuring Chris Brown on his phone. And I was like, bro, what song is that? We're in secondary school. I think we're in like year 8. I was like, bro, what song is that? He was like, oh, it's Freeze. And then I was like, we're just like listening to it. We're like vibing to it. And coach, but I'm like, yo, this song's crazy. I was like, I beg you send that to me. And then he just Bluetoothed it to me. and just sent it. And like every time I hear that song, I get reminded of the time I first heard it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, yeah, man. So yeah.
We also have like a. So I'm not sure if you were there for it. Remember during COVID times when we were Airbnb-ing everywhere.
Yeah.
Where is it? Not Trippie Redd. What's his name?
Lil Uzi?
There was Lil Uzi as well, but it was the person who sings "Tell Me You Love Me." He died recently. Well, not recently, but quite.
XXX?
Not him.
Juice WRLD?
Juice WRLD, yes. Ah man, that used to be played in the Covenant like every single day up until like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
That will come in rotation. That became like the Covenant theme song.
Yeah. Because I remember the music box was being used a lot around that time as well. Yeah.
And then you had like, what is it, Smash Mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, not the normal version. The version that blew your ears out.
Yeah.
I remember that song, that beginning song, same with Fireflies. That beginning part was associated with trauma.
What? Wait, Fireflies by Owl City?
Yeah.
That traumatized you?
Because they will play the version that was boosted to the wazoo and blow your ears out. And I'm not going to lie to you, I was the one who started that trend.
I was a massive Owl City fan, man. I love Owl City.
So I used to find like those mixes on YouTube to where like it starts normal and then as soon as it hits the drop,
you're bugging. What's wrong with you, man?
It was so fun. It was so fun because like we'd use the music box so often, to where like you just slip in a track, right, and people are already aware of the different version at the time.
They're like, we're not doing the skip.
So there would be metas to where like you would try to conceal it with another song. Oh man, that was
hell no.
That was a great era of music.
Yeah, hell no.
Like, just like how, just how we associate those sort of like even like moments of trolling, just with like different soundtracks, etc., etc. Like when I think of like certain artists as well, for example, 6ix9ine.
Yeah,
he had that whole album run where his songs just couldn't stop charting.
Yeah, his singles. I'll be real. As much as this guy's a bitch ass guy, bro, like. His runs were dark. Were crazy. His runs were crazy. I'm not gonna deny it, bro.
Every week it was back to back. Not all of them were bangers, but they were chart.
But quite a few were bangers.
They were catchy as well. And then after like all of that stuff came out, like it wasn't. Yeah, you couldn't wear that with pride.
Yeah.
But if you were to throw up a song.
But also reminds me of like Pop Smoke a lot as well. Like Pop Smoke when he like I was like when he passed, I was just like it was so sad because I was just sitting there thinking this guy had just given us so much good music and he was I think he was one of the first artists because his main producer was a UK producer who produced drill, right?
Yeah.
And it felt like the perfect link between UK and US, where you had a New York rapper and a London-based producer coming together, London-based drill producer come together to just make a masterpiece, and everyone from the US to the UK just fucked with it. I think it was the one moment where there was that one artist that simultaneously had the love of US and UK artists at the like. In a cultural way, do you get what I'm saying?
And he loved music as well.
Bro.
He produced so many sort of tracks that were unfortunately like recreated into different things post.
Yeah. Post-mortem, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at the same time, it just goes to show you like how much he was sort of invested within the sort of like within the space of music, right?
Yeah, it transformed the sound of UK of music in terms of that drill scene. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, changed completely. So
like New York drill became like number one. Before it was UK, and then New York drill, it was saucy because it wasn't as divisive as sort of UK drill because UK drill it had like all of the controversy behind
of course.
the message
Yeah.
that was being like toted.
Yeah.
But like, I guess like New York drill was like the fashionable side of that in a way. I mean, don't get me wrong, people were still like toting some, you know, devious stuff. But at the same time, it was transformative enough to where like the focus wasn't on the ops. It was on, okay, we get it done over here. Like we're the guys. And drill music in general, I feel like that sort of production and the way that sort of the music, the sound,
Yeah.
the feeling,
Yeah.
it's very like, I don't know how else to describe it other than intense.
Yeah.
Because you feel the sort of emotion behind it.
Yeah.
It's like a wave of momentum.
Yeah.
You listen to Pop Smoke, you listen to his tracks back to back to
Yeah.
back to back to back. Next thing you know, you have Hennessy in your hand and you're just there you don't even know what happened. Like,
yeah, man. I wanted to see this guy perform at O2 Brixton so badly because I know it would have popped off. I know it would have popped off. And obviously, sadly, he passed away. But like, it was just like, yeah, man. It was. It's that era of music where you're just like, man, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is the conversational music that I wanted to have.
Nice, yeah, man. I
And
appreciate it, bro.
It was like
It's fun.
a great sort of like session, just picking your mind, as well as seeing how music is personally for you. Because everyone always talks about, you know, the latest trends, etc., etc. But they never really talk about what that sort of sound meant to them in that moment.
Yeah, I think Trent.
And-
Oh, sorry, go on. Continue.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like I think like with the whole trends thing, I think it's just like how, excuse me, I think like with the emergence of like TikTok and how social media is now, like everyone's just chasing trends when in actual fact like trends stem from original thought.
Okay.
Like trends have always stemmed from original thought. That's how, and then people latch onto that, and that's how it becomes a trend. Because obviously everyone's latching on that. But every trend you see has come from an original thought. It hasn't come from, I don't know, something that's been done before, unless it's been stolen. But it's like, yeah, it's like I don't understand why people be chasing trends. Obviously, naturally, because it's what's big and what's happening right now.
When
But
they should be creating their own.
yeah, when you
moments,
should be, you know, striving to create something original, and that could be the new trend, you know. But you know, it is what it is. So, but yeah,
sense.
yeah, that was the thing I was thinking about when you were talking about trends. Because I was like, I don't really have any like trends or thoughts on that stuff. But I'm like, in terms of what's happening in the music world or what's interesting to me, then yeah, I could speak on that.
Yeah, that makes sense. But overall, thank you for showing and sharing as much as you did.
Thank you for asking, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode.